It's 2 a.m. The world is quiet, but your mind is screaming. You're replaying a conversation from 3 hours ago, but you aren't focused on what they said. You're obsessing over what you said. That personal story, that secret you've never told anyone, that raw, messy piece of your past that you just handed over to someone you barely know. On the way home, it felt like a connection. But now, in the dark, it feels like a hollow ache. It's the vulnerability hangover. That crushing realization that you bared your soul to someone who didn't ask for it, and now you feel naked, exposed, and deeply, painfully cringy. We need to talk about why we do this, why we turn our deepest wounds into small talk. Most people think oversharing is just being an open book, but usually it's a cry for safety. You share because you're tired of being misunderstood. You think if you show them the real you, the broken parts, the trauma, the struggles, you can skip the small talk and jump straight to being loved. You're trying to build a bridge out of glass. It looks beautiful for a second, but it's too fragile to walk on. When you flood a new person with your intensity, you aren't creating intimacy. You're creating a burden. You're handing them a map to a house they haven't been invited into yet. Real connection is earned. It's not a transaction. But here's the hard truth. Strangers can't heal what they didn't help build. By dumping the heavy stuff too soon, you actually push away the very people who might have become the friends you're looking for. So, how do you stop the flood? You learn the power of the unsaid. You learn to become the guardian of your own story. To do that, you need a new set of tools for when the urge to overshare hits. First, use the echo technique. When you feel that desperate pressure to reveal a secret just to keep the conversation going, stop and simply echo what the other person just said. If they say work has been stressful, don't jump into your history of burnout. Just say, stressful? In what way? By shifting the spotlight back to them, you relieve the pressure on yourself to perform. You realize you don't have to be the one supplying the intimacy. Second, apply the 24-hour rule for deep topics. If you're talking to someone new and you feel an intense urge to share something deeply personal, something that involves your family, your health, or your trauma, tell yourself, I will tell them this tomorrow. If you still feel it's appropriate after a night of sleep, then share it. Usually, you'll find that the urge was just a temporary spike of social anxiety that faded once you got home. Third, practice layering. Think of your life like an onion. The outer layers are your opinions on movies, your hobbies, your day-to-day life. The core is your soul. Never jump more than 2 layers at a time. If you're talking about green light topics like your job, don't suddenly skip to red light topics like your divorce. Ask yourself, does this person deserve this part of me yet? Try the check-in. Share a small piece of yourself, a tiny window. Then wait. Does the other person open a window too? If they do, great. You've taken a step together. If they don't, keep your door closed. That's not being fake. That's being a guardian of your own heart. You are allowed to have layers. You are allowed to be a mystery. You don't owe the world your trauma as a price for entry. If you've overshared in the past, forgive yourself. You weren't being weird. You were just being human, looking for a place to belong. But from now on, try this. Believe that you are interesting enough even when you aren't bleeding. Believe that your silence is just as valuable as your words. True connection isn't about how much you can reveal. It's about how much you can respect yourself while you get to know someone else. You are a masterpiece, and masterpieces are revealed slowly, one layer at a time. Be patient with your story. It's worth the wait. Did this help you today? If so, hit the like button to let us know. We'd love to hear about your experience once you've put these tips into practice, so feel free to share in the comments. For more videos on growth and mindset, don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next one.